Hi, it's Nick from Nick's Nutrition, and I've teamed up with Wholegrain Goodness to show you how you can have a healthier and more whole grain Christmas. So first of all, what are whole grain foods? They basically contain whole grain as an ingredient. Whole grain means the whole of the grain, so all of the edible part of grains such as wheat, barley and oats. Whole grains are a good source of fibre which, amongst other things, helps to keep our digestive system and hearts healthy. You can get whole grains, so wholemeal flour, oats, wholemeal pasta, and what people tend to say is that they're surprisingly pleased at how they find wholemeal products to taste. Whole grains provide our bodies with carbohydrates, which is what gives our body energy. They provide protein, fibre, vitamins such as the B vitamins, and also minerals such as iron and zinc, and all of these help to keep our bodies healthy. Now most of the time when I encourage people to eat more whole grain, they immediately think, oh, brown stuff is boring and it's really chewy. But I've got 3 really tasty examples here and simple ways that you can include more whole grains into your diet, in particular over the Christmas period. So first up, I've got some no-bake carrot cake reindeer bites, and the good news is that they are good enough for you to eat as well as Santa's reindeer. So to make these, all you want to do is add 9 to 10 medjool dates into a food processor, along with 2 grated carrots, a heaped half a cup of rolled oats, which will weigh 50 grams, a heaped half a cup of walnuts, which will weigh 70 grams, and then your spices. So you want a teaspoon of cinnamon, half a teaspoon of ginger, and just a dash of nutmeg. Once everything is nice and combined, you want to pull out about golf ball size amount of the mixture, roll it between your hands and pop it on a plate. I've covered half of mine with desiccated coconut, which is unsweetened, so you can roll it in desiccated coconut, then pop these in the fridge for about 15 minutes. When you take them out, give them another roll, and then they are perfect to serve as a snack or as a sweet option at a party. My second tip for eating more whole grain over the Christmas period is basically when a recipe calls for breadcrumbs, just use wholemeal breadcrumbs. It's as simple as that. So I've got some wholemeal bread here, and to make these breadcrumbs, all I did was pop 2 slices into a food processor. This is a really good way of using up the ends of the bread, and if the bread goes stale, then you can use that to make breadcrumbs as well. A top tip is that if a recipe calls for dried breadcrumbs, all you want to do is toast the bread first before you put it in the food processor. So my third tip to eat more whole grains over the festive period is to start your way the whole grain way. So what better way to start your day than with a warming bowl of porridge? To make my porridge, all I do is add 50 grams of rolled oats into a bowl and add to that 250 ml of milk. You then want to heat this in the microwave for 2 to 3 minutes, and meanwhile chop up half an apple. Any apple will do, red or green. You then want to sprinkle it with a little bit of cinnamon and spray it with a little bit of rapeseed oil, and you want to bake that in the microwave for about a minute. Once it's out, you can top it on top of your porridge with, I've just put some walnuts on and a little drizzle of honey, and it honestly tastes amazing. So as you can see, eating more whole grains can not only be simple but also delicious as well. If you want to find out more about whole grains, you can head over to their website, which is wholegraingoodness.com, and you can also follow them on Twitter at @wholegrain, and don't forget to check out the hashtag #GetWithTheGrain to be inspired about cooking with more whole grain foods. I really hope that you've enjoyed this video, and thank you very much for watching.